Joining me now is Michael Danby, and Michael is in Tel Aviv in Israel. Great to see you, Michael. I want to find out, first of all, just very simply, you've gone to Israel, you're a well-known Australian. What are people telling you about the attitude towards Australia these days?
Well, they're very surprised. They think that our reputation as a sort of a tolerant, happy-go-lucky pluralist society has been besmirched by the attacks on Jewish institutions and individuals, but more particularly by the Albo government's seemingly one-sided view on Israel-Palestine conflict and their imminent vote at the UN.
And what's the latest on the ground there regarding Gaza? Obviously, we know that it's being ramped up. Another major ground offensive is underway. Thousands fleeing to the south. Hamas talking about lining up the hostages as human kind of shields. It's disgusting stuff. The sooner, in my opinion, that Israel finishes the job and gets rid of Hamas, the better. What's it like for the people in Israel?
Well, people are, weary of the long war. I mean, Israel is a very small country, a third the size of Tasmania, and is not sort of built to endure long wars. But the point is, Rowan, it's a war. You and I discuss it, but you wouldn't know it if you watched the ABC or any of the mainstream media in Australia. More than 900 young Israeli soldiers have been killed. It's house-to-house fighting in some parts of Gaza. It's not these sort of monstrous Jews, coming in aircraft and bombing poor Palestinians and killing children. I mean, there are civilians who are unfortunately harmed, but it's in the course of, this desperate fighting where the IDF is trying to get retrieve Israeli hostages and to suppress Hamas. It's, I'm sure if we did minute-by-minute television when we were invading Germany at the end of the Second World War, it wouldn't have been pretty viewing either.
Now, Michael, it's people around the world often criticise Israel. Oh, they shouldn't be doing this, they shouldn't be doing that. And Benjamin Netanyahu comes in for a lot of criticism. But the reality is that Israel is a very, very vibrant democracy, coalition governments with all sorts of people, and even out in the streets, there's lots of plurality, diversity of opinion, and so on. So what is kind of the left in Israel? How are they responding to what's happening in Gaza? And how's the left? I'm always intrigued by this. How will the left in Israel respond to Australia and other countries recognising Palestine at the United Nations very soon?
Well, there's the sort of hard left, the Meretz party, led by a fellow called Golan. I believe they will be acquiescent or even happy with it. And then there's the sort of mainstream left, who are very critical of Benjamin Netanyahu, who wish that he would accept even the half-baked Hamas hostage for ceasefire and withdrawal offer. Lapid and Gantz, both of whom I saw recently at a conference, their fortunes have gone down in the opinion polls. Israel has this very hyper-democratic proportional representation system where small parties come and go, but they certainly wouldn't support a unilateral recognition of a Palestinian state as Australia, France, Canada and the UK are proposing. How can you impose, Rowan, from London or Paris, a micro-settlement in the West Bank? It has to be, as all of these countries agreed, and the United States still does, a negotiation between the parties. You're not going to be able to get land swaps or borders unless Israel agrees. And to do that, you've got to stop pay for slaying of terrorists, as the Palestinian Authority does, or Hamas existing in Gaza, where they want to wipe out the only Jewish state in the Middle East.
Now, Michael, I wanted to show you this picture. I thought it was great. It's Fiji. It's Benjamin Netanyahu. Fiji has officially opened an embassy in Jerusalem this week, with the Pacific countries' Prime Minister flying over there for the inauguration. So there they were getting together. It means that Fiji has become the second Pacific nation after Papua New Guinea and the seventh globally to establish a permanent diplomatic presence in Jerusalem. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was rightly delighted. So tell us, Michael, has this received big news over there in Israel?
The strange thing is, Rowan, for an Australian to say, Israel seems to have more success with Fiji than Australia does. We're doing very badly in the Pacific with the Chinese pushing back in the Solomons and Tuvalu and even Papua New Guinea, where we didn't get the defence contract. Perhaps Albo needs to make up with Netanyahu and get him to help him with Pacific relations.
Well, it does seem extraordinary, doesn't it? But listen, I also wanted to just quickly ask you back to the anti-Semitism thing. So we've seen an appalling story come out of Italy where basically a teacher was attacked by pro-Palestinian mobs. So this was Italy. How out of control is this anti-Semitism getting around the world, and particularly in classrooms and places?
Well, Ireland wants to ban Israel from Eurovision. The Spanish won't play soccer at the World Cup if the Israelis are involved. It's madness, really. There are so many other conflicts all over the world. This Israel obsession, etc., has atavistic roots in Europe. It's really something very odd. And I don't think even if this war is finished, their hatreds and passions will cease. I think the Israelis will have good relations with the Arab world as per the Abraham Accords, and even with Asia after this conflict hopefully is over soon. But some of the European countries, by tolerating this kind of violence against people, by attacking Jewish citizens in the streets of Greece, it makes those countries look very poor.
And great relations with Fiji, I'm pleased to say. Good on Fiji. What a legend.